think I'm tired of people complaining about how hard it is, because I feel like if you keep thinking that it's too hard, and if you keep thinking that you cannot do it, then you cannot obviously do it. When you learn something, you have to be the stupid person in the room.
You have to learn to be comfortable being that. I generally have the same kind of format of it because I'm trying to extract specific information, which is the how you did it and like the day to day. Because when I was a kid, I wanted to become a footballer, and then I bought football players' books, thinking that maybe they'll teach how to become a footballer. And they never talked about that. How did I find that you speak Finnish?
I think you asked on Instagram.
Right.
And then I answered your poll, or like there was some inbox thing.
Okay.
And then we chat.
And they were talking about it. And then we had a call.
Yeah, we had a call.
Finnish. Do you want to like just do a quick name and those kind of about you, metadata about yourself?
Sure.
If you want to look there or look here or however.
Okay.
If you want to do a quick one, maybe 6
I
seconds.
don't know. I always find that it's super weird to look into camera.
Okay.
When you do like a two people talking, like, hey, I'm talking to the camera, and then hey, I'm talking to you. Yeah, it's like, it's kind of weird.
Okay.
But name is usually people call me Emily.
Yeah.
And I at the moment I'm entrepreneur. I'm a hairdresser. So I work as a hairdresser nearby, currently in Konepaya. So my Instagram handle, Emily's Iste. So the hairdressers.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's my Instagram for my hairdressing work. And then we know each other from Instagram as well. We know each other from afar. We talk about this on Instagram. It's like a good way to connect people. I find that it's quite easy to ask people questions like this, like, hey, anyone know someone who know this thing or like can offer this thing? And people just drop an answer in the box. It's pretty helpful.
But I also come to realize that it seems only like a certain percentage of people bother to.
Well, you have to have certain, let's say, rapport with the person, I guess. So like you for example, we occasionally comment on each other's stories and things like that. So you do have some interaction with the person already. Then they might bother probably to answer. Yeah. But if you don't, then yeah. True. I actually recently recognized that I didn't do much on Instagram. Like that generally. I thought I spent a lot of time on it, but I didn't use it to interact with people. So story doesn't count. You have to kind of comment. You have to make comment in their photos. We don't do that a lot anymore.
I've been doing this podcast now. I've been using the podcast account name and comment everywhere because I'm trying to get it to reach as many people as possible.
Yes.
I recently even created a Reddit for it. Yeah. And then Reddit keeps blocking me from commenting because I'm commenting too much. Yeah. But okay, so briefly, how does Finland show up in your life story? What brought you here? How long have you been?
I think I've been here now for about 13 years, maybe. 2012, I think. It came up as an option to study abroad because my family has some friends, friends of friends or like daughters were already in Finland. I know that Finland has the option to study for free. Yeah. And then, of course, like when the tuition fee is cut away, then it's the living cost is something that you could adjust. Yeah. So then it's make it very appealing at that point, at that time.
They've taken that away now.
Yeah. So it's no longer like that appealing. Yeah. If you have to wait in also the quality of education and cost of living as well.
Right. Yeah. Right. So 13 years ago, moved to Finland for education. What did you study?
I study international business. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. And what prompted you to like learn the Finnish language? Was there like a specific turning point or a need that pushed you?
I think that in the first 3 years, I didn't plan to stay here. So I was like, I'm going to move somewhere else. Yeah. I tried to move abroad, move somewhere else. Okay. Moved to Spain. I was in Spain for a year. I was in the Netherlands for a year. And I tried to learn those languages as well as, So then in a way, like I at that point I was like, I only do Finnish course at school because I have to. Right. But I didn't learn the language. The beginning is always the hardest when you move on from that point. My English wasn't even this good as well. Then you have the Finnish as a third language. And it's so hard. It's like one of the hardest language in the world, right? So Finnish is challenging, and you feel like you're stuck all the time at this A1 or A2 level, and you can't really speak to anyone. You as soon as you say like Nina or Len, you sound stupid.
It's
not for us, but the Finnish people, they are not used to a non-native speaker at that point as well. Mind you, it's 10 years ago when you speak. They are not used to having a foreigner around them speaking their language.
Right.
So then they would laugh. They would laugh at you.
Okay. The sentiment I've heard is actually quite opposite. Maybe people who are comfortable with you might laugh.
Yeah.
But then just normally, when the sentiment I've had with just randoms is like, they just try to extract whatever information you're trying to convey. And then if you're close with them, like one of your friends, they might laugh at something you're saying or try to help you correct whatever you're just saying.
I used to live not in Helsinki. It's very different from small town and then city.
Okay, that could be it.
So then when I decide to stay here, then the natural path would be to get permanent residency or citizenship. And citizenship is always something that requires the language for sure. Then I have the option of either learn Finnish or Swedish, right?
Right.
But I find that this is around, let's say 5 years later, let's say around 2017, I start working full time after my graduation. I realized, okay, maybe I should learn a little bit of Finnish so that it makes my working life easier. I could also understand what people need sometimes. And then between 2015 and 2017, I have a tutor.
Okay.
Finnish. Finnish.
Yeah.
And he taught me Finnish in my own language. So in Vietnamese.
Oh, that must be very useful.
Yes, it's very useful because then he speaks English as well. Yeah. So then, of course, he can compare Finnish to both Vietnamese and English.
Right.
So you make different correlation. And that's how I think that improved a lot during that time. But even after that, I still can only speak like simple stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
You moved to Spain and the Netherlands for a year each.
Yeah.
And then
this was before 2015.
This was in year 2 and year 3. You tried to
Yeah.
But didn't you also have studies going on?
Yeah. Like I did because those are integrated into my study. So internship, and exchange. So those are the two.
Right.
Yeah. But I extended, so then it's 1 year each, basically.
Okay. And then you said you got a job, and the job was also in English?
In English, yeah. I did. I work as a waitress.
Okay. Yeah. Just generally being able to find jobs that you don't require Finnish is not too common. I mean, there's a good amount. Basically.
I work in English even until now. I still was before. If I work in restaurant, I prefer to use English.
Okay.
I still work in English.
Yes.
But basically, the hairdressing, the job I'm doing now, is my first job that I'm completely doing in Finnish.
Okay.
So everything from setting up the business and tax matter and dealing with my colleague, apply, and everything is in Finnish.
Okay.
Working with customer in Finnish. So this is my first job in Finnish.
Completely. If I'm to recount what prompted you. So
Citizenship
was the...
Or if you want to permanently stay here, basically it's one of the things I consider you should know, basically.
Right. Okay.
I always find that it's kind of rude if I carry the Finnish passport and don't speak Finnish.
Right. Fair point.
It's weird.
Right.
Say on your paper you are Finnish, but you don't speak either Finnish nor Swedish. Okay, you could speak Swedish. Sure. But
it's not enough for you, I guess.
It's actually learning Swedish.
You're learning Swedish.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm not learning the Finnish Swedish. They are different as well.
Can you walk me through like the learning journey and then like what things worked and what things did not?
Having tutor work, self-study works for me. I'm not saying it works for everyone. Class is absolutely not working for me. I hate going to classes. 2017, 2018, around that time, I wanted to take Ykki during that time. I got my Ykki in 2018.
Okay.
So I first went to a class. I don't remember if this was a Uki specific class or just a normal Finnish class level. I think it was Uki specific.
Okay.
I think they put me in a class where they learn the Suomen Mestari number 3.
Okay.
And then that book was like hard enough, you know, the level is hard enough for Uki. The class was 3 times a week.
Okay.
I think 2.5 hours per class. But it doesn't work for me because my work schedule. So I cannot get off work earlier than what I could back then. So then I'm always late to class, around half an hour late to class. And the teacher knows that.
Yeah.
But because of the traveling and going there, getting from one place to another, then I'm missing all the time the homework, the way they correct the homework.
Right. Very good point. Okay.
Yeah. So that's useless, right?
Yeah.
Even if I had the time to do the homework before coming to class, I don't know if my homework is correct or not.
So you don't close the feedback loop at all. It's like you just did the work, but you don't know if it was correct.
Yeah. So that's maybe why it didn't work for me because of that.
Yeah.
From the class, I have learned that the Lisa Harjoitus at the end of the book 2 actually really hard.
Okay.
And you just need to do that. If you manage to do that without making mistake, and you are ready for Uki.
And was it so that the book, for context, the Suomen Mestari is this series of books. I think it's the most popular one that is used for learning Finnish.
Yeah.
And Lisa Harjoitus means more exercises. And I think those ones have the answers at the back of the book.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
So it was good to cross-check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember class didn't work for me because of that reason. Traveling time takes too much time. My work schedule is tight. It's quite a lot of work. If you work 8 hours a day and then go to class for another 2 hours, and then by the time you get home, you're exhausted.
Right.
And traveling. I was living in Espoo back then, and traveling was paining.
Right. And where was the course?
Was in
Omnia. Okay.
in Espoo.
Okay, so you were working somewhere in Helsinki.
In Espoo. Back then, I was in Espoo. Working in Espoo, living in Espoo, and studying there.
Okay. But it took quite a bit to get from work to that.
After 3 months of the course, I didn't think I retained much information or like I learned much or like I improve a lot.
Right.
So I decide that, okay, now I need different approach because course doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
But I couldn't, at that point, I couldn't afford tutor.
Right.
Because tutor would have been also something easier.
Right.
Because the tutor I had before was in Lahti. So I cannot have it the same. In Helsinki. It's a private, yeah. So like it's a small class that I did with my friends and he did it as a gesture.
Okay.
Yeah. So he kind of helped us rather than like we have to pay a lot of money. Yeah. So that's how I could afford it before.
Right. I was just going to ask if, you have a little plus fund somewhere that you can include me in.
It was like €5 per class or something like that. That's how I could afford it.
Okay. Yeah, gotcha. Okay, so tutoring works, self-study works, but classes was a no-go for you.
Yeah.
And the main reason was the
work schedule. And
and then also like on a more functional level, the fact that you couldn't close the feedback loop of whether your exercises were correct or not was, and also weren't there for the teacher to be able to explain why things. Do you feel like, because I've been thinking of how ChatGPT would be useful for my learning now, because when I did it, it wasn't there. Do you, for being able to close the feedback loop, do you feel like ChatGPT would probably be useful?
Nowadays, I actually use ChatGPT for my writing as well.
Okay.
So I would try to write as much by myself. And then I would run it through ChatGPT. I don't use ChatGPT, but I use, what is that? Claude.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're a bit better, I think.
Okay.
I would say.
Okay.
I find the writing more natural.
In that one?
In Claude.
Okay.
Yeah.
I pay for ChatGPT, and ever since then, I've never bothered to try any other one.
Okay.
It gets the job done.
Maybe the paid version of ChatGPT would be better. But for me, ChatGPT is, so far, ChatGPT question or like answer to me is very USA centric.
Oh, okay.
It's not very European centric.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know why.
Check that out.
Everything I ask it, it's like giving me very USA
based answers.
Centric.
Okay.
It's like, this doesn't make sense in this market.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
And for example, sometimes this is cheating, but I use ChatGPT to write for me as well.
Okay.
And I would tell ChatGPT to write it in the level I am at. So I mentioned that you do not write further than higher than B2.
Right. Okay.
So then I can proofread it myself.
Right. Okay.
And I can learn from that and
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
That's if it make mistake.
Okay. Okay. That is
That
actually
as
good.
well.
Yeah. That's actually a good strategy.
Yeah.
And this is also exactly one of the reasons why I do this, so that because everyone has their own little tricks that they do for this.
Yeah.
Once you achieve your goal, it just kind of stays in your head. But I want to spread that information.
Yeah.
Okay. So at which point would you say you reached B2?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
So I would say on paper it's 2018.
Okay.
Realistically speaking, I would say 2 years ago.
Okay.
So like in that make it 2023, 22.
Okay. Interesting.
So I passed my Uki everything on the first try, but that's B1 though.
Okay.
That's the thing. But on paper, I have enough proof to get the citizenship, and I got mine, I think, a year and a half later.
Okay.
But then after that, I think it's not actually become part of my daily life, like actually being able to read, produce, and talk to people until I forced myself to go to school and finish.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So say 2018 to 2022 is when you feel like you reached that level, right? So that's between year 5 to year 10, basically. Sometime it's a large gap. It's a large gap.
It's a long gap.
Yeah.
But I would say the first 3 years of that, there wasn't any improvement that much.
Right.
I speak here and there at work, simple questions, simple requests.
Yeah.
I carry simple stuff. But as soon as, let's say in a restaurant, because I was still working in restaurant then, let's say if people have some complicated complaint and like compliments more further than that, then I'm stuck.
Okay.
I cannot speak anymore.
Yeah.
So I cannot also like explain to them in Finnish.
Yeah.
So that's the level I was at that 3 years.
Right.
Of course, in that 3 years, I think I gained a lot more and more confidence in speaking, so that I know I could speak simple conversation. And then, but if it's come to something important or something more complex, so especially if I have to express a lot of my opinion in the matter, in English still.
Okay.
Yeah, so I still couldn't do that in Finnish.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But that is one of the harder things as well.
It is.
Even in writing, if you have to write the opinion piece, nearly be there. It's always harder.
That is a fair point. What resources did you use? And were there any that surprised you about how useful or how useless they were?
I think I use a mix of everything. Suomen mestari, like everyone. Yeah. Then a bunch of these books that people usually recommend for Uki learning.
Okay.
So then from
novels or like textbooks where you exercise.
These are textbooks.
Okay.
So from start to finish, that book is very good for grammar, understanding the language, how it's structured. But it's written in a way that is very for linguistic. So it's not very realistic, not very close to like real life situation. But if you are the type that you need to understand things before you can remember it, then that book is really good. And it's explained in English. So of course.
Okay.
And that book actually really good also for some writing rules and the alphabet. Yeah. Because they mention this rule where like a and always go together. So you cannot have a and in the same letter. Yeah. In the same sanat word. Yeah. So then those things, that book is good for it.
Right.
Then Runa Garden, that's a book for writing.
Okay.
Then I think it's Ukango by Ulinkingo. Ukango by Ukingo.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not heard of that one before. Yeah.
That book is really hard. It's one of the harder books.
Okay.
that if you aim for higher score or if you feel like you want harder exercise, then
Yeah.
that book is the way to go.
Okay.
But that book, you can study that book, then of course, for sure, you pass the UKB, like, keskikat pass so easily.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the Valtion something test? I just interviewed somebody for this, and she said she got into law school in Finnish, which is crazy after like 4 years. Crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she had to do that test for that. And I feel like maybe this book might be useful for that level because that's up beyond the entry test. Which is,
The Hairdresser mestari, that one is also very good for like a bit higher level.
Okay.
Especially with the higher level of that book series as well.
Okay. Right.
So those are probably my book resource.
Yeah.
Then I use a lot of everything that Yle Kieli offer. Like you just dig that up. Sometimes they have pretty old material there.
What do you mean by material?
Like the material bank that they have has been there for years. So material is not up to date.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if, Uki nowadays is different from Uki I did in 2018, right?
Right.
But one great thing about them is that some of their exercise, it's like automatic checker. So
nice.
You can get it checked quickly on the system.
Yeah.
And they have this whole application on phone that give you subtitle for the simple TV show in Finnish.
I saw something like that, but it was after I had already gone through my journey of learning, so I didn't really bother.
That one is still good for even higher level because, of course, they have different level of material there.
Right.
And then the great thing is that their subtitle, when you input your level or when you input your level, the subtitle mark the word in the subtitle, which level is belong. So sometimes, even though I'm a B2 level, when I watch those things, I still see like word that mark like A1 level, but I'm like, I don't know this word. It's color coded. I think green, yellow, and red. Red is like higher level.
Right.
So then it's marked there, and if you want, you can slow it down and see the meaning in English as well, the subtitle for the Finnish one.
Is this the one they call the kieli koulu?
Yeah, I think kieli koulu or something like that.
Because I saw on LinkedIn, there was a whole thing about the fact that they were ending it. Because they were making financial cuts and they decided to cut kieli koulu.
I'm not sure if they are still keeping, maybe not updating it, but like the material, I hope it stay there.
Right.
Because I think it's a very useful like things to have.
Yeah.
Because you practice listening, you practice reading at the same time, and you learning new word at the same time.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But otherwise, nowadays, I usually find that Yle Arena is always good because they always have subtitle, and you could also slow it down.
Right.
So then you can always watch those.
Right.
I love that Yle has selkokieli. So the selko site.
Yeah.
So simpler Finnish. But sometimes the selko uutiset is a little bit boring. I found that it's actually extremely hard to move by material to move from B2 to higher.
How so?
Because you are not super high to read something complicated.
Yeah.
But then because people don't talk enough about this level, like B2 to C1, for example, B2 to C2. So then you don't know, okay, where do I get material for it?
Okay.
Rather than just learning by like passively in a way that you just absorb whatever comes to you, like news and anything really. But let's say if I want to find a book to read, then I don't know which one. What book would I recommend?
For
B2 to C1 or C2?
For me, I read this book, but the KonMari, Marie Kondo. I read her book in Finnish. That was, it was quite light reading. So it was just about home stuff. So it's like objective encounter, and a lot of friends was already encounter. So it wasn't too hard. I still had to use dictionaries for a lot of words, but it wasn't like I tried to read Sapiens. That was that was
why did you do that? It was hard in English.
Exactly. I didn't know I got it, and this was also at the beginning of my when I was like decided to go. It was at the beginning of, and I was like, why did I do this to myself? This was so harsh. Yeah. I read 1/3 of the book, which is a lot. That I gave up, and then I switched to the Marie Kondo. And then I read this book about North Korean spy who did, I think it's called Tears of My Soul, who did this airplane bombing thing, suicide bombing thing.
Okay.
Yeah, not quite that, but where they smuggled a bomb on a South Korean plane. That was also quite interesting reading. It was not too difficult language, so that was quite good. Yeah.
Because I think at the moment my struggle is to write longer text.
Right.
Email I can, message I can, but at the same time I want to write maybe merely pide, so like opinion piece like a bit longer, or like if I need to fight someone
In
with
the
the
comment
keyboard
section.
in the comment section. Exactly.
Yeah.
I need to do that.
I think I still struggle with that.
It's not easy.
It's because sometimes you miss the nuance of their sentence that they are saying.
And then you miss that, and then you also miss the humor I haven't get. The cultural humor I haven't get.
Yeah.
The idioms I haven't get that many.
Yeah.
Those things are like, it's a pretty common problem to face at this level.
Yeah, 100%. You have to read old texts, like old religious books, for example, would probably have idioms in it. So resources that you use were books, like text workbooks, basically.
Yeah.
And then Yulakieli, Cole or Yulakieli. Then TV shows with subtitles. Right. Okay. Gotcha.
And then Selko.
What is it? Okay. Was that like?
And of course, I speak as much as I can at work.
Right. But the Selko, is it like radio or?
They have both.
Text.
They have both text and like audio.
Yeah, because I only used that one. I mainly used the podcast.
Okay. Yeah, but then they have both, and that's really good, I think.
Right.
And then, there's some YouTube that I like.
Okay.
Was that like Finnish? That's I think.
Finished.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think so. That's what's the one podcast. Yeah. And then another person I follow, I can't remember her name.
On social media or?
Yeah. So then I don't remember. But one of my favorite websites as well, Uusi Kielemme. I love that website.
Good for like understanding why some things were the way.
Exactly. And then because it's already structured, already into section.
Yeah.
And if you understand it, then you know exactly which section you need to drill at that point. For example, if I'm writing and then I'm like, okay, I know what type of conjunction I need here.
Yeah.
But then I don't remember how to conjunct it. I can go to that website and I go to that exact
on how to
type of how to do it and refresh my memory a little. I use that a lot nowadays still in writing as well.
Yeah, it was one I discovered quite late on.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's one of the first websites I
very
use.
Useful, though.
Yeah,
very
it's
useful.
a very, very old website, but it works and it's really good. I remember this one link that I have. I have a folder on Google Docs about all of my Wiki material.
Oh, okay.
And there's a list of websites that I visit and I use for my study.
Right.
There was some website where they listed I have material that I use only a couple of days before the test.
Okay.
So that I only review the most important things.
Right.
For example, like 50 verbs you need to know.
Yeah.
So that you make sure that you get these. Because everything in test is also test-taking skill as well. Know everything, but then if you don't know the thing they asked, then that's the problem.
Yeah.
You want to nail your test, then, in Asia, we study for the test.
Gotcha. Yeah.
We study everything, but we also study specifically just for that test. And you learn trick that you need to make sure you try to structure down, let's say, your dialogue, for example. Yeah. But those things I learned also from when I did the TOEFL IBT as well. Yeah, because the Wiki is similar structure to TOEFL.
Okay.
Because when you speak to a machine, they cut right there. You have exactly 30 seconds
to say. Okay.
So if you don't have an outline, you don't have a structure to your speech, you will easily miss out the important thing. You cannot finish your sentence.
Right.
Because if it's with a person, even if you need 2 seconds, they will give that to you.
Yeah.
But with a machine, you have to learn Usually, well, that's a whole test taking is a whole
Science.
a whole conversation really
Yeah.
about how to take the uki really.
Right.
Yeah.
Of the different resources that you tried, which ones did you think were kind of useless?
Anything useless.
This doesn't work.
Some online tests or like some online exercise, I guess. But I don't remember it anymore.
Yeah,
but
like specific on there. So basically, there were some online tests that worked.
Some online tests that worked and some don't.
Did. Okay.
But it's whatever you get more hairdressers.
I suppose. Yeah.
Because
practice.
some of them are just useless just because they are too easy. So for example, they are saying that this is like a practice test for uki, but then you do it. You're like, this is A2 level. This is not enough.
Right.
Like it's too easy.
Right. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not hard enough. But apart from that, nothing really. I think it's such a hard language, and to be honest, just need to pass the uki. You need to handle the past tense really well.
Yeah.
And the past tense is the most annoying tense ever in Finnish. I hate it so much.
Yeah.
I still hate it. I'm still very bad at past tense.
So what observations have you made about people learning? Like from your standpoint, what have you noticed about how other people learn Finnish?
I think I'm tired of people complaining about how hard it is. Because I feel like if you keep thinking that it's too hard, and if you keep thinking that you cannot do it, then you cannot obviously do it.
Right.
Because you don't have the motivation. You should think that it's hard, sure, but there must be a way. And for me, it's like, well, if you just try to learn other language before you come back to it, then you are like, what makes this so hard? It's annoying, but what makes it so hard? It shouldn't be this hard.
Right.
But again, it's like, even the Finns can't really speak it properly.
Fair point. Fair point. That is actually, yeah.
Just so you know. So even them, sometimes that they argue with each other, like how to conjunct to say the word. And especially as language evolve as well, they have new words.
Right.
That I'm like, how they are not linguistics to study the language in a way that they know the rules.
Right.
They speak it because it sounds right to them.
Yeah, there's a thing with native speakers.
Yes. It sounds right to them.
Yeah.
And then if they have a borrowed word, a loan word, then how are they going to decide how to conjunct it?
Right.
Because they don't know the rules themselves. So they just say how it sounds, and it might be wrong if you put it next to the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. That's actually a point. Yeah.
I think with English as well, my level of English now and my level of English before are very different as well. And then even if you talk about English literature, there's different writing style and different writing because of the period it was written in.
Oh, yeah.
You might think you speak English, but you don't.
Yeah.
Let's say Shakespeare, right? Like, it doesn't written in how we speak.
How we speak, yeah.
So then you can say you know English, but you don't know Shakespeare.
Yeah.
That's it. So it's the same with any language. You have to remember that. But it can be hard because of different reasons, not just because you don't speak the language or you cannot learn it.
Yeah.
So you have to have that attitude about it.
On that specific thing, because I grew up with my grandma, and she was Catholic. With the Bible, there is the King James Version, and then there's the New King James. New King James Version is like modern English.
Okay.
But then there's the King James Version where they speak like thee, thou, thine, those kind of words. And then I remember, of course, I read a fair bit, and I used to remember how to use it as a kid. And I would go around just saying that, and people would be like, oh my God, he speaks so good English.
It doesn't mean anything. It's a different period.
It's a different period.
Because you don't understand it doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, I was probably using it wrong. But
it's like Finnish dialect as well. They make fun of each other dialect as well, which is a funny thing, another funny thing. But yeah, the more you learn, the more you understand the language, you realize that, okay, it's hard, but it's also hard for native speaker.
100%.
Doesn't mean that you should have that attitude that you cannot learn it because it's so hard.
Right.
Because even native speaker have like struggle with it.
Because
and the level we aim at as well. Let's say your last interviewee passed a law exam in Finnish, right? That is hard for native speaker.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That is.
The content alone is hard,
So,
yes,
yeah.
but the language level as
It's
well.
also quite difficult.
Exactly. You have to learn
Fair point.
a certain way to write and construct sentences as
Yeah.
well. And for many, I know on a daily basis, they also have trouble writing.
Yeah.
It's a skill that nowadays people don't use a lot.
Yeah.
Don't be too hard on yourself.
Okay. Observations that you've made and that people often think it's too hard. Is there any other thing that comes to mind that you've observed about how other people go about learning Finnish?
I think this goes with every language. I think that you are a little bit shy to speak. I know some people who are not shy to speak and like to make mistake.
Okay.
You probably should make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah. I have one friend, Miku. Shout out to Miku. He's Finnish Australian. And when I heard that guy, I was like, Lord, give me the same confidence, because he'll just say his thing completely wrongly.
Exactly.
Like,
that helps them to learn so fast.
Like egregiously wrong. I'm sorry, bro. Egregiously wrongly.
I know those people.
You understand what he's saying. And in the process of him doing that, he learns by, like, he just iteratively just improving how it's
exactly
learning.
And that's how I have this one person I know as well. He would just, every person he met that comes from a country speaking a different language, he would learn a few literally sentence, not just word, sentence from that country. And he keep repeating it until he get it into his head, like 3 times, 4 times, right there on the spot.
Yeah.
And then the next time he see the person, he'd be able to produce that sentence again.
Smart.
So that's also one thing, because he has the confidence to speak it wrongly, right?
Right.
And always say it out loud and repeating it.
And you get good practice from doing that.
Yeah. And your brain get a good, memo.
Yeah.
I think that's one way to learn it as well.
Are there any surprising or unconventional things that you did that other people might not think of?
I think it's mostly just the test taking strategy.
Right. At least for the.
That's probably something I did differently.
So, nothing really unconventional that you kind of tried for.
Not really.
Okay. And then one thing I've come to realize about, I mean, you can have a good mindset about it, but it is a goal that requires, like, some goals require 500 steps and some goals require 1,000 steps. This is one of the goals that require a lot of steps, let me put it like that. And it makes it a lot easier to achieve the goal when you have things set up in a way. If I'm trying to overcome cocaine addiction, it helps to not have cocaine lying around the house. Or alcohol or whatever. I would imagine it kind of helps to make it a little bit farther out of reach. Right?
Yeah.
But so in that regard, for achieving such a difficult goal, what are the passive things in your life that you did? Like things that happened to just be some way, or passive things that you set up to be in a certain way that just helped you along with the goal?
So,
or like having your phone in a specific language, those kind of things that you set it up one way.
I don't do any of it. My phone is still in English. So I find that it's easier to navigate.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people sticker everywhere.
Yeah.
For home, but that's for me. It's only I do what is that? The memo card thingy.
Like a notebook.
Like a ring. I have a flashcard.
Flashcards. Yes. Okay.
I do flashcard.
But I mean, that's a kind of an active process. I'm talking about just things that
like passive. I really don't have anything like that.
Okay.
I think I don't have that because everything at work is in English as well.
So work was in English. Were there any like environments where in those environments you just spoke Finnish?
But work, I mean, I do speak with customer
in Finnish.
In Finnish.
Okay, so that's an example of. So it's not like something where you always have to make it happen, but it just happens to be that way. So that's a good example.
I still love reading all of the the set that comes on the metro. Like
the ones that come for a few seconds.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
I love reading. Usually I try to just read the titles, and then sometimes I don't even understand the title. So the titles sometimes are really hard already.
Yeah.
So that's the sentence I'm trying to understand.
Right. But title language is usually doesn't necessarily follow normal language rules. Yeah, or sentence rules. Okay. And what about, active things? What are the active things that you did? You have a study routine, speaking habit?
For the UK test, I study every day.
Mhm.
1 hour, maybe 30 minutes, 1 hour.
For how long
For
of a period?
that for the tests only. So
Yeah.
then 3 months
For 3
for
months
the
before
test. Yeah.
studying every day. Okay.
So that's the intensive.
Yeah.
But nowadays, I mostly learn things passively. I just let it come like passively. So
Yeah.
I don't actively seeking out material.
Right.
Yeah, I'm mostly just if my friends send me some news and I read it.
Yeah.
If I have some document that I have to read, then I
Yeah.
usually read it instead of running through translate.
This was in year UK test for you was in year 5, and you only started trying to learn it from like what, year 3, year 2?
3, maybe 3, 4.
Because you had the exchanges and the internship abroad.
Mm.
Okay. But during that time when you were trying to learn it, apart from encountering it at work, you were also doing the course and the tutoring and stuff like that. What other active things were you? Okay.
I think that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then, okay, this is another kind of take on a question I've asked earlier, but what conscious changes did you make in your life that made it easier to practice than to not practice?
Speaking Finnish to customer.
Okay.
Customer even come in before that they speak English to me, but then at some point I switched to Finnish completely.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's definitely the change I made.
It's a conscious decision.
Yeah.
And then what about anything else?
I'm trying to switch to Finnish with some of my longtime friends. It's very funny because they are not used to it.
Yeah.
But still I communicate with a lot of people in English still.
Okay.
Because that's something I think I'm going to make. Then what else? I don't actually have any specific. I think I have a notebook specifically for the duration of study.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, nothing special really.
Okay. And what about hobbies? Did you have places where like, okay, here I only speak Finnish in this place?
No.
No. Okay.
But like as I mentioned, so then the UK is like 2018. I think I improved a lot in the past years after that. And I made the decision of going to study for my hairdressing degree diploma in Finnish.
Okay.
So I think that's one of the conscious, like biggest decision as well, because I feel like I really want to be able to speak it as part of my daily routine and everything and working in it. And well, your last interview is choose law. I choose hairdressing because it's a bit easier and it's something I'm interested in as well, of course. Yeah. Otherwise, I would have choose law too.
She did have what is called from Philippines. She did have a law background.
Yeah.
So
the knowledge is there. It's just the language barrier. Exactly.
And also being able to do law in most countries requires a lot of intellect and also grit and perseverance. So I think she had that going as well. I only know this after my friend told me. He was a friend who lived in Australia for a while, Finnish guy. And he was like, a lot of German exchange students, when they come and they were looking for somewhere to stay, he had a place that he could rent them. But they wouldn't necessarily come to his one. They'd go to another place with the German because they wanted to just stay in the comfort zone. And so which raises this kind of question, like how integration is a huge factor in this. How do you feel like you have integrated yourself into Finland? In terms of like, in a way that can help with the language.
I will try to be the only Asian in the room.
Okay.
In a lot of situations. But for example, so I would say in the past 2-3 years, I feel like I integrate more in the society or in the Finnish way of living on a daily basis, more than I have had the 10 years before.
Okay.
By how? Because I go to the school in Finnish.
Okay.
That's really big help.
Which school is this?
This was a public school, like the hairdressing.
The hairdresser school.
Yeah, the hairdressing school.
Yeah.
So I was in public school and then they put me in SCOT. So like the suomen kieli on toinen kieli.
Yeah, Finnish,
as a second language.
Yeah.
So they put me in there and I don't have any native Finnish speaker there as classmate. I have my classmate also actually even lower level of Finnish than me. And it's really frustrated me. Yeah. So after 1 year, I dropped out of that because I'm like, I can't stand that. I have been requesting that I want to be with the Finnish group,
Yeah.
with the native speaker group, because one of my biggest goals to go to school in Finnish is to improve my Finnish as well.
100%.
I switched to private school where we have 2 or 3 non-native speakers there.
Right.
But the other people actually have really good level Finnish as
okay.
well. So then everything is in Finnish. My teacher also push it that they speak Finnish to me all the time. And they have seen me grow through the years of studying there. And they mentioned that your Finnish has gotten so much better. Like everyone mentioned that how much my Finnish improved in a year.
Yeah.
So in a year, me spending time in the public system and in the private institution where I surround myself with native speaker.
Yeah.
Completely different level.
Right.
You have to be a stupid person in the room. When you learn something, you have to be the stupid person in the room.
You have to learn to be comfortable being that.
You have to be able to put yourself in a class where you are like, I only understand half of this.
Yeah.
Because that's other half would motivate you. For me, that would motivate me to learn so that I can be better. It forced me to concentrate as well, because once you don't understand it, then of course you have to concentrate more.
Right.
So that's like definitely something that I consciously make myself to put myself into it.
Okay.
Surround yourself with native speaker.
Right.
Old people who doesn't speak English, even better.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. I had a guest mention that as well. Yeah. And so in your case, the integration is just like in the education that you had, you try to have yourself with Finnish people and just go out of your comfort zone. And then also just in work as well, you speaking Finnish. And And do you have any, the next question is, do you have any groups in your life who you could force to kind of speak Finnish with you? But I guess that is already work and then junior education stage.
I'm trying to speak in Finnish with my boyfriend. It's so funny. He actually his English has been improving because he's talked to me. So now maybe my Finnish can improve too.
Try to flip the table. Okay.
But yeah, he explained to me so many funny Finnish stuff.
Or he's Finnish.
I think he's good.
Gotcha.
Like, I'm just speaking Finnish so I can improve my Finnish too.
That was a huge help for me. I had the person I was dating in 2022 was native. So
yeah, I think, plus my ex is British. That's how my English improved as well. I think that's fastest way to learn a language. You date a person, then you force yourself to speak to the native language with the person. They're going to teach you so many things.
Yeah. I remember in 2022 when I was like, if anyone speaks Finnish, we're only speaking Finnish. And then it was such a big issue in the relationship because the quality of the relationship goes down a lot because of the communication. Yeah. But I was very stubborn about this goal. If I'm going to live here, there was no way that I'm going to diminish the quality of my life. Generally, just because I know it's just going to be one painful year. And then after that, it's just, I didn't mean that.
Right.
It is that smooth sailing going upwards after, that's going to be hilarious. This is just going to be hilarious. But one difficult year, then it's going to be smooth sailing after that, right? And so, I had to just kind of push through. I mean, on the days when I was super tired or like every now and then I would just like, okay, now.
How do you flirt if it is? Honestly.
You don't.
Exactly.
You don't. You find somebody who already loves you.
It's impossible. I don't know.
You find someone who already is into you. And then
I have once going on a date where this guy sitting 30 minutes not saying anything to me. Like I just, whatever I ask him, he answered like, that's it. And he's not trying to conversate.
Yeah.
It's crazy. This was in English. Well, I'm still I can't flirt in Finnish.
That's
so okay.
I can only say the very basic things. Yeah, just super simple things. Like maybe you say something and then I misinterpret it as a joke.
Actually, that was something that I think my weakness in Finnish is to express my emotion in Finnish. I can't still do it very well.
Okay.
I can do it better in English. So that's why I always joke with people that I'm like stupid and boring in Finnish. Because I also like...
It's a whole new personality.
Yeah. Well, they have mentioned that you have a different personality when you speak different languages.
Right.
So that for sure. Nowadays, I don't even identify my personality with Vietnamese anymore. I sound stupid in Vietnamese as well. English is my choice.
Yeah.
I speak with my parents, then I have to speak in Vietnamese. That's struggle. It's real. I need my sister to translate things for me. I would turn to her and ask, okay, what's this word in Vietnamese? Can I tell her, what is that in Vietnamese? Another memory is I have a hairdresser. She speaks the same 3 languages with me.
Okay.
So Vietnamese, English, and Finnish. So we speak mainly in Finnish, but sometimes we just like switch the word, 1 word or 2 words in different language. So our conversation is in 3 languages. It's so fun. I love that ability. I'm like, nobody would understand this conversation ever. The chance of somebody that understand that conversation is so small.
Very.
And then if they are, because it's switched in the middle of the sentence as well, if you don't know the way people speak, you couldn't catch it either.
Right. Oh, it's such a cheat code when you know a language with somebody and you travel abroad. It's,
Me and my boyfriend traveled to Paris, immediately switch to Finnish.
It's like,
what?
From your experience, when people don't succeed at learning Finnish, what would you think has usually been the reason or the most common reasons?
I think that, like the thing I mentioned before, thinking that it's too hard to study. And the shyness. You're afraid of making mistakes. Well, that's a very, for me personally, it's a very Asian thing as well, right? We're afraid of making mistake, and we always hold ourselves and our things into higher standard, that unless you produce a perfectly correct sentence, you shouldn't speak. So then that kind of holding people back, I think that's for many.
I think that's also very common of people who have had good grades at school. My pronunciation in Finnish is very good. So when I speak, people think that I should know Finnish. That I should know Finnish. But I know that I don't know Finnish. And then it's like, my grammar is like quite weak. So then as I'm speaking, I just feel myself sounding stupid. But at the same time, it's like, hey, you have to get over it, because there's no way around it.
For me, my confidence level is different, right? And with different people, on different day. And the day that I have less confidence about my speaking, it is harder to understand me, or it is harder for people to understand me, because I start doubting myself mid-sentence, and that makes the word kind of mix up together, and it's harder for them.
What you're saying, right?
I don't care the conjunction, but you got the word.
Every time I've had to talk to kids. You know how kids don't really have a filter. They don't know what is being mean, or they just know truth. Every time I have to talk to kids, I'm so nervous, because it's like, when is somebody going to just say something mean?
Okay, it's not something mean, but I feel like they are too shy to talk to me, because they can hear the accent. They can hear that we don't speak native and we look different. Then they are like...
No, for me, I usually just, because I like just chatting with kids or whatever. And so I would just say something, but then in the middle of saying the thing, I'm like, I start feeling self-conscious. Like, what if, this is the moment when,
Oh, but I think, because I have kids at work. I had kids hair as well, so I'm trying to talk to them, but they are like, I don't want to talk to this person. I'm feeling so self-conscious. I'm like, is it my accent? Is it how I look? I don't know. Maybe they're shy with everyone. That's the thing. So maybe you just have to ignore it all and
you have more of a full conversation, because it's a bit more one-on-one. In my case, it's just like, maybe I see a parent with a kid. I just want to say something.
Express something.
Or then maybe I've had situations where I've been part of a project where I have to go in front of a class and say something to the kids. So it's not really a one-on-one conversation. It's just like, I'm kind of shy that I'm going to say something stupid, or I'm going to sound funny, and then they're going to say that, hey, that man over there sounds funny. And then I'm going to have nightmares about it.
So we all have this fear in our head. I think that's the fear of not being able to learn it, the fear of making mistakes, sounding stupid. But I think that's probably the biggest thing holding us back from learning it. And a lot of things, not just Finnish, but very common, since it's in this context.
Just be comfortable being cringe.
Probably that's the thing at this point.
I feel like that's one of the things I got comfortable with, because I might not even have done a podcast if I hadn't gone this level of comfortable with being, I don't know, in quote, cringe.
Don't take yourself too seriously. That helps.
Definitely. But okay, so
Not in other thing in life, but in this context, yes.
Yeah. For your experience, things that prevent people from succeeding is shyness.
Mm.
And what do you feel like you did that others do not often do in this language learning journey?
Speak.
Just force yourself to speak.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let me
Actually,
yeah.
I think I know maybe one Vietnamese friends
Mhm.
who also speak Finnish
Okay.
as a daily part of their lives now.
Okay.
So that's, I think, the only Vietnamese friend I know that can do that. So my other Vietnamese friend, none of them speak Finnish.
Okay.
So it's still, unfortunately, a rare thing to come by.
How long has your friend been in Finland?
We came on the same plane.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me switch from language-based questions for a while, just to humanize my guest. I mean, you clearly have a lot of personality, and that has shown a lot in the conversation we're having. But just random question. What food reminds you the most of your childhood?
Braised pork belly, baby.
Rice pork belly.
Braised pork belly.
Was there some specific memory attached to this? Like, or why is this? Why does it remind you so
I
much?
think it's just something that I used to have for breakfast with some sticky rice, or like my mom and my grandma usually make those for dinner.
Right. So the story with this, like something with mom and grandma.
Yeah. How is it related?
No, I just ask because now we're asking sort of technical questions. But I
Yeah.
wanted to ask something that kind of gives an opportunity for my guests to also just express them, tell about their human side. You know, just maybe okay. So there are like 6 parts to learning a language, at least my opinion. 6 parts to learning a language, and we're just going to kind of quickly go through them. And then you just say the different things that you did in order to improve on that part. The things are vocabulary, speaking, listening, grammar, reading, and then writing. Right. So for vocabulary, in let's say the first 7 years or first 6 years, how did you improve your vocabulary or increase your vocabulary?
Probably through flashcard. So like you seek out the word list for your level, and then you put it in flashcard. So you're learning very, very passively.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say. And then later on, then I would try to read without consult the dictionary.
Without consulting?
Yeah.
Okay.
So then I would try to guess the meaning of the word through the context and through other words that I know in the sentence.
Okay.
Before I have to fetch out the dictionary.
Okay.
Sometimes I will still have to fetch out the dictionary, but I will try to avoid that.
And how were you getting the new words to add to the word list?
Like to adhere.
Where were they coming from?
Usually nowadays it's coming from document and news if I read.
Okay.
But otherwise before that it can come from any books.
In the early days, especially.
In the early days.
6 years.
I think Suomen Mestari always have a sanasto for every unit.
Yeah. Okay.
Vocabulary list for every unit. So it'll be a good place to start.
Okay.
If they are looking for that. Yeah.
Okay. And then with speaking, how did you improve that?
Speak. Seriously, speak. Speak out loud.
Yeah.
If you write something, you read something, you speak. For now that I'm learning Swedish, I'm learning it using Duolingo, so it's pretty slow.
Okay.
But then I every time I type a sentence, I also speak out loud, even though it's not a speaking exercise.
Right.
But every time you speak, it's also adhere to your head, to your brain, and you remember it better.
Yeah.
And then you practice your pronunciation and the intonation.
Right.
Then later on, when you're comfortable speaking to people, speak everywhere as much as you could, as far down of the conversation as you could.
And then in your case, you had the opportunity to speak in the Finnish courses that you did.
Yeah.
And then in work.
Yeah. Well, now I work in Finnish every day.
I mean, no, I'm talking now more about the earlier years.
Yeah.
So work and then in the courses and then what other scenarios?
That's it, I think.
Okay. Yeah. And then what about with listening? But my focus is mainly on the first 6-ish years.
Better to listen to those selko-uutiset, like those things, because they speak clearer.
Yeah.
And they also speak more proper as well. So you learn the right structure. Those podcasts or YouTube that I mentioned before as well, those are good listening material. Those are probably the listening exercise from Suomen Mestari, those books as well. if you have access to those.
Right.
Because I think suomenmestari, the good thing about it is that it's approached the language in very structured skill.
Right.
So they make sure to include all of the skill in that book.
Right.
So that's why it's a good book to start.
And do you remember which podcast you were listening to?
The podcast, it was an old podcast, but they no longer make their new episode.
Okay.
But if you type Finnish into Spotify, it should come up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what about grammar? How did you?
Grammar uusi kielemme, the website.
And the books that you.
Yeah, the book.
And okay, so that's how you improve the grammar. How did you improve the reading?
Reading, I read the selko-uutiset. I think that's the easiest to
Yeah.
read, and it's useful as well.
Okay.
Because the structure of and read all of the, all the ilmoitus that you come up with, like you come by. Every time you see a notification somewhere, you just go and read it.
Oh, like ads, basically.
Ads or notification in the building. They have some notification of something happening, and try to read those and try to understand. I think that's very useful because if you talk about Uki, that's exactly what they give you in Uki.
Right.
They give you something like an email, like the spam email that they send to you.
Right. Or, if there's been a data breach, leaked emails. And then how did you practice? Oh, wait, hold on.
Writing?
Think of the reading one again. But okay, yeah. How did you practice the writing?
That's hard. Usually that's strictly for me, it was a workbook.
Right.
So
that's
writing.
Yeah.
Write like those exercise.
Just from the exercise. Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the ones that I didn't put so much effort on. So it's one of the weaker skills that I have.
Most people, even native speakers, have writing the weakest.
Okay.
It's one of the harder language skill to master because it's also have the nuance of like being able to write and being able to write well. Those are two different things.
Very good point.
Yes.
Yeah.
So native speaker, some of them, some of my friends going back to university, they are nervous about their entrance exam because they said they haven't written in proper Finnish in so long. Exactly. If you have to write an essay, if you have to write an actual opinion piece, that could be still a struggle for native speakers. So those things, everyone has their writing skill is the weakest.
So those are the 6. And tell me the times when you found it most difficult to kind of chase down the goal of learning Finnish.
I struggle with getting the nuance of the language, how when is it funny and when people speaking too fast, or like nowadays it's really hard to eavesdrop the whole conversation, for example.
Okay.
Like to be able to follow it, I probably get lost at some point because I still need to completely focus on something in order to understand it fully, even or maybe 80%, I say.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's something I'm still at this point. I have an okay level of the language, but at the same time, I still don't speak it like I speak English.
Okay.
So I don't know how I get there, but it's where it's frustrates me a little at this point.
Right. But like motivation-wise, you mean? I mean,
motivation-wise, it's hard. I don't think that it's too hard to learn, but sometimes it's hard.
Yeah, but
it's still very hard.
Are there moments in your timeline where you found it like difficult, motivation-wise, just felt like giving out?
At least I don't remember those moments anymore.
Oh, did they ever happen? Something like that?
Maybe once or twice in the first few years at school, you learn and you're like, what is this? And people don't even speak like this. And
right. Okay.
Yeah, that's where you're frustrated when you realize that people don't speak like this.
Right. Yeah. And what words of encouragement can you give to anyone who's feeling down or feels fed up with feeling like giving up with the learning of the language?
Don't.
Straight off, just like Nike, just do it. Yeah.
Just don't. No, but I think actually one of the things I find refreshing is that I say that the time that I had to move abroad to Spain or to Holland, where I have to learn another language. So obviously at that time frame, I don't learn Finnish anymore.
Right.
So I go completely learn another language.
Right.
Then I come back to Finnish. And then for somehow it's make it easier for me. It's like taking a break, giving your brain the break. I think it's similar with muscle memories. It's similar to weight training. if you train intensively for a long time and then you take a 1 week break, you'll take 2 weeks, then you come back.
Yeah.
And the day you come back, you lift heavier than any other day you have done before. You break your PR on that day. But because your muscle and your brain need time to rest, but it still retain the connection. And then when you come back to it, it could come back stronger.
This is interesting. Okay.
So that maybe if you lose motivation with learning Finnish, maybe just, okay, go learn Swedish or something else.
Yeah. I don't, this is completely anecdotal and I don't have any science to back it up, but I've realized, at least because I used to play football, and then I stopped. And then years later, I went back to play football again. I noticed that my ability to recognize patterns was so much better.
You are more sensitive to it
than when I used to play. And I was like, I didn't even notice these things when I was playing. What changed?
Exactly. It's almost like when you do it intensively, your brain got overload. But when it's completely free of that, like things you are trying to learn, then it has time for, I have been reading some book about neurology, and our brain retains information like that. It needs time in the REM sleep to retain information because it needs time to sort out those information.
Right.
Maybe that's why this is not science back. I just think that you need the break for your brain to actually retain the thing you want to.
So you're saying I should sleep more?
Yes, definitely to sleep more. Everyone should sleep more. If you want to be more efficient, work productively, you should sleep more.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind.
Also, looks prettier.
Yeah, to look prettier. I'm interested in that. Yes, I could use a few more pretty points.
Yeah.
And how has your life become better now that you live in a country where you speak the language?
I think it's really nice. I think that people stop seeing you for just how you look, and people really only see you for you more. If you think about stereotypes, Finnish people are big on stereotype. You see an Asian girl, she doesn't speak Finnish, then she's maybe the tourist, maybe somebody who live here short term. They immediately rule out to connect because it's short term. One thing I have learned from moving abroad many countries and then making friends and making connection is that at some point in life, people wouldn't want to make short-term connection anymore. When they make connection with someone, they have to have a purpose. This sounds very cold-hearted, but it's true. Because if you were born and raised and reside here for long term, you cannot have time for all of the new connection coming in your way all the time.
Right.
When you make new friends, you want to know that if I have the future with this person, do I know them 10 years down the line when my life circumstances changes?
Yeah.
Or are they beneficial for my business or something like that? So there must be a longer term, when people make connection.
Yeah.
If you speak the language, people think of that more, the longer term of the potential of the connection they make.
Right.
So they are more receptive to understand you or to know you as a person rather than rule you out immediately like, this person is tourist, someone living here short term.
Yeah.
I don't want to make this kind of connection anymore. If I don't travel the world. It's different for everyone, but I'm saying if people choose to reside and live here permanently, which means that 70% of people we are surrounded by, then they would think of it that way. So in a way, I think that people are more open. They are also, I don't know, maybe I look more Finnish now than I used to be before. People start speaking to me in Finnish instead of English as the first language of choice.
Yeah.
So then people would see stranger on the street talking to you just to express something like, that's so terrible or something like that. The old people or you can see that you can make that little small connection, small, interaction in your day. And that happens a lot. So maybe you feel less lonely in that
100%,
sense.
Yeah.
So I think it's always helped. And Finnish people really appreciate when you speak their language because they themselves know that it's hard.
I've been having lately where in the place I just moved to where people are just sitting on the park bench and then I walk past and they start talking to me and then we'll start talking in Finnish. speaking to me in Finnish, and then I'm able to partake in such conversation. But if it was in English, then the number of people who I could engage like that with are much less.
Because they themselves also have that fear of making mistake when they speak English as well. So they would not speak to you because they themselves have that as well. So some people, of course, don't let that affect how they, let's say, interact with other people around because they are social. But then otherwise, if I can avoid it, for sure.
Yeah.
And you know how timid they are. Could be.
Yeah.
Could be.
I often have an interaction where I find somebody attractive and I try to talk to them. And then
we
talked about this.
You said it on Instagram.
Yeah. And then I realized that they don't speak. They're having that moments where they're like, they can communicate, but they're not comfortable communicating because it's English.
Okay. Yeah. So then you approach them in English. Yeah.
And then there's a whole thing, and I'm like, it's fine. Just let it go. And then we just move on.
But then that limits your choice, right? That limits your opportunities for sure. But at the same time, you have to think about longer term with that person. If you cannot communicate in the language that you're comfortable with, the no-go either. Because you had that experience before.
Yeah. So there's all of that to kind of deal with.
But there's your loss.
Well, I don't know if it's my loss.
Well, everyone, I guess, is a limitation of choice. Yeah.
I mean, I can speak Finnish. I just prefer my personality in English.
You can't really flood, as we already established.
Yeah.
None of us can.
Yeah. This has been fun.